Well, good morning now here on Tuesday, March 2nd. If you notice, we're actually going backwards a little bit in the English book to page 190 and 191. We've already been introduced to commas with quotation marks. That'll help set it off. And I need you guys to understand why all this different punctuation is so important. Obviously, again, if you're watching a movie, you understand if somebody's asking a question. You can see it and hear it. Well, in writing, we don't have the scene, right? You're just reading words. And so all of this punctuation is really like a stop sign or road signs as you're going down the road. You guys know that if you had roads just going all over and no signs, it would be chaos. Nobody would know where to turn off. Nobody would know when to stop, when to go, and so on and so forth. It wouldn't be a good thing. All those signs are so important, and they tell you very specifically what to do, where to go, how to control your car, so on and so forth. Well, that's what punctuation does, and specifically commas do when you're reading. They tell you when to take a break. They tell you when something is coming up, like quotations. And like today, they're going to tell you when you get to a list of things. This is what we're focusing on today. I like to eat apples, grapes, and bananas for snacks. We use commas to separate 3 or more words written in a series, meaning a list. If you talk to your cousin, and I'm not poking fun at any little cousins or little siblings, but sometimes when they get so excited and you say, "What do you want for your birthday?" They say, "I want a pony, and I want a party, and I want presents, and I want this, and I want that, and I want that." Da, 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 da. It's a lot of stuff, but the sentence just goes on forever. Well, if you would actually write out that sentence, and it's 3 or more things, you separate them with a comma, just like we have here. What do you like to eat? Apples, grapes, bananas. Okay. Well, in a sentence, this comma does 2 things. Number 1, tells you that there's a list coming up. And number 2, a comma is like a little bit of a stop sign. It says stop, take a break. I'm not saying that you read it like this. I like to eat apples, grapes, and bananas for snack. That's not what I'm saying by stop. I just mean take a quick breath because it's showing that there's a list coming up. And if you just say, I like to eat apples, grapes, and bananas for snack, it's going to be like your little cousin who just keeps going, and then all of a sudden they listen and they got to catch their breath. The commas help you catch your breath kind of in the middle of the sentence. I like to eat apples, grapes, and bananas for snacks. That's what commas do. It's like a road sign on a road. These are like telling us how to read this sentence. Just like this. Notice there's 3 things: pencil, book, crayon. Well, use commas. Jen has a pencil, a book, and a crayon. Not Jen has a pencil, book, and a crayon. Don't go so quickly because our brain works in a specific way that it needs a little time to catch up. I'm not making fun of any of our brains, but that's how they're designed. They're good at keeping lists and keeping track of that, but they need a little bit of space and time to comprehend and understand it. Jen has a pencil, a book, and a crayon. Now if I go back, you can probably remember. What does Jen have? A pencil, a book, and a crayon. If you just Jen has a pencil, book, and a crayon, I know you don't speed read every sentence, but when you have a list, you need to separate them with the commas to help our readers comprehend or understand what we're doing. Just like this. Searching through the drawer, comma, that means take a quick break. The detective found a key, a stamp, 3 coins, and a paragraph. Now, when you read a list like that, you do not say the detective found a key, comma, a stamp, comma, 3 coins, comma. No, you don't read punctuation, right? Just like when you're reading, you don't say period at the end. You don't say question mark. You don't say that, right? Punctuation is, again, telling you how to read it or how to say it. You don't have to actually say comma or quick break when you do it. Just simply do what it says, and that means take a quick break. Searching through the drawer, the detective found a key, a stamp, 3 coins, and a photograph. Notice how many things the detective found. 4 things. The commas simply separate those 4 things so that we understand and can keep a track in our mind of everything the detective found. Here is the issue with this. If you take a look at this example, they did not put commas in these lists. Mrs. Shaw is a mother, an artist, and a teacher. You're asked to read that really quickly, and also thinking, what does Mrs. Shaw do? You need those commas to help break it up and keep it nice and separate in our minds. Mrs. Shaw is a mother, an artist, and a teacher. You need to insert those commas to break up the things in a list. Same like this. She paints pictures of people, animals, and flowers. That's not correct. You need to rewrite the sentence and correctly add the commas. She paints pictures of people, animals, and flowers. That little break I did should tell you exactly where to put the commas. Again, you don't say comma when you read, but that's how you know that there are commas, when you have that little break to give our listeners a good chance to catch up and understand what's going on. So please, just like I did in the example for these 8 sentences, rewrite each sentence, and in the underlined list, you need to add the commas correctly. Page 190 and 191 will help you. Lord's blessings to you as you praise your Savior.